Tension and bow. Okay, from the top. So Angus is coming in. Come in again, Angus. And he's trying to get Darren into a headlock. Didn't get into a headlock. That move there. The initial defence against that is to Darren's to come in with the webbing of his hand, is to take Angus offline and come back at 45 degrees. That's your best defence against a headlock. Second time. Angus comes in. Darren grabs the middle hand and takes it out goes out through the back. Locks up the wrist and back again. This time Angus gets a good grip on Darren. Darren grabs his hand, grabs it in the back of the lapel, and with a stiff left leg, takes Angus down. Moves immediately into a figure of four arm lock. Angus counters that by grabbing the figure of four arm lock and pulling it directly onto his chest. Taking his hips up, he bridges Darren over. Darren takes his right hand deep between Angus's leg, which in effect draws his body around. Takes his leg over the top and forces Angus down with his legs. Coming back for the armbar. Darren sits up. Sits right on top. Punches down. Again, this is a very vulnerable position for Angus. Punches down and Angus flips him off. Darren tries again to come in for the armbar, but Angus blocks it. Darren counters that by pushing his leg and coming straight into top position. Pretty vulnerable position here. Darren comes down with a straight punch which Angus blocks, and note the important part there is that Angus moves his head offline. Grabs his own hand, locks Darren in by the shoulder and bridges him across. Angus maintains his position, pushes down Darren's left leg and comes round the guard to a version of ground position number one. Darren goes into the ground position one defence by locking his hands under Angus's chin and pushing him out. The most important point here is that Darren moves his hips out and gives a hole for Angus to fall into. Comes round to ground position two. Angus forces his way into Darren, which forces Darren to push back, thrusts his hand up into the air and comes round to ground position one again. And defence against ground position one. Without the elbow to the back.
Push.
Like I said, most of those defences you've seen already. So it's just revision for this particular move. Face each other and bow.